right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to practice writing equations, and then we're going to use them to solve for the missing piece. And so if we look at the first example, example 9, it says Leo ate 5 more cookies than Sarah. So if we just look at that statement, we know that however many cookies Leo ate, it's 5 more than how many Sarah ate. But then they give us a piece of information. So it's like, well, Sarah ate 3. So that means Leo ate 5 plus 3, which equals 8. So that means that Leo ate 8 cookies. Now that's a very simple, like straightforward one. Sometimes they're a little bit harder, like example 10. So it says 4 times the difference. So remember, 4 times means we're going to multiply something. And because it's telling us the difference means we're going to subtract, 2 things. And so the 4 out in front is going to be multiplied by 2 things that are going to be subtracted because it's the difference. So 4 times the difference, okay, so we've got these keywords of a number. So this is our unknown. I'm just going to call it X in this case, and 8. Okay, so a number and 8, these are the things that are going to go inside our parentheses. And then it tells us that it is, so equals 48. And then from here it says, what is the number? And so from there, you guys can do a couple different things. We can do a distributive property if that makes you feel better, or we can just divide both sides by 4 first, so we don't have to distribute. So then this 4 cancels out this 4, because 4 divided by 4 is 1. And then we're left with x minus 8 is equal to, and if I do 48 divided by 4, I get 12. And then we're just going to say, well, how do we get rid of minus 8? We do the opposite, which is add 8. And so we get x is equal to 20. And if you would have done distributive property first, you're still going to get 20. It's just a little bit different because you would have gone 4x times both. So you'd have 4x minus 32 is equal to 48. And then again, same idea. You would have gone add 32 to both sides. So you'll get 4x is equal to 60. Oh no, 80. That sounds better. 80, and then we'll divide by 4. So x equals 20. So either way, we're going to get x equals 20. It's kind of up to you if you rather divide first or if you want to do distributive property first. Either one works. Example 11, again, it tells us that is the sum. Sum means we're going to be adding 2 things together. Okay, so 3 times a number. So 3 times the number, and 22 is equal to, so again, we've got these key pieces, is equal to 31. Now, I didn't really need to put parentheses there, but I did just in case we had to do something else with it. All right, so the sum tells us that we're going to add 2 things together, and that's why I did parentheses. But there's nothing there to do, so we can just solve normal. So we're going to subtract 22 from both sides. So we get 3x is equal to, looks like 9. Okay. Yeah, 9. And then we're going to divide both sides by 3. So x equals 3. Looking at example 12, it's kind of the same thing. It tells you that Jillian exercises 5 times a week. She runs 3 miles each morning and bikes in the evening. If she exercises 30 miles for the week, how many miles does she bike each evening? Okay, so as we're looking, we're just going to break it down into the things that might be important because there's a lot of information there. So 5 times a week, okay, that's something that might matter. She runs 3 miles each morning, and then she rides her bike in the evening. So it says if she exercises 30 miles for the week, how many miles does she bike each evening? So let's just think about that. If she's exercising, or if she's running 3 miles each morning, 5 times a week, we're just going to go, that's 3 times 5. Okay. And then she's also biking 5 times a week, but we don't know how far she's biking. But we know that total, for the total week, she always is going to exercise or run, I guess, run or bike 30 miles. So again, 3 miles 5 times a week plus 5, because that we exercise 5 times a week, times how many times she bikes, or how many miles she bikes. So we're going to solve now. And so we'll subtract 15 from both sides. And I always like to get my letter all alone. That's my first step. So I always like to move my number first, but it doesn't really matter. Remember, it's just letters or variables to one side, numbers to the other side. And 30 minus 15 is 15. And so when I divide by 5, I get that she also bikes 3 miles a day. Or every evening, 3 miles a day. It says Taylor is 5 times as old as Spencer. So Taylor is, so if we just write it out, this is Taylor, if we just write down what it says. So Taylor is, so equals 5 times as old as Spencer. And this is what it's actually saying. So those are the things that we know. And it says the sum of their ages is 18. How old is Taylor and Spencer? So because Taylor is equal to 5 of Spencer's ages, we can do that. So we know that Spencer's age, which I hate using S, but let's just say Spencer's is our unknown, so let's just call it N. And so Taylor's age, which is 5N, plus Spencer's age, which is just N, is equal to 18. So that's our equation. And we have that because we wrote down that first step where it says Taylor is 5 times as old as Spencer. And that's what that meant. And then we're just going to substitute it in and solve. So this is going, well, I guess I could just write it underneath. So 5N plus 1N is going to give us 6N. And then in order to solve it, we need to divide by 6. So we get N is equal to 3. And then Tammy has $20 to spend at a movie theater, and she spends $9.50 on a movie ticket. If the snack counter sells bags of candy for $3.50 each, how many bags of candy can Tammy buy with the money she's left? So notice that if she spends $9.50 on her ticket, and then she wants to buy candy, and it's $3.50 for each candy that she buys, and she's going to spend $20 total. You're just going to solve that. So how do we get rid of $9.50? We are going to subtract $9.50 from both sides. And then we're going to get $3.50x. And if I do 20 minus $9.50, then you're going to get $10.50. And then you're going to solve by dividing. And so if you have $20, then you're going to divide it by $10.50. So then you're just going to use your calculator. So let me make that bigger. So you have $10.50 divided by $3.50. And so it says that you can buy 3 bags of candy. All right, so that's it for this lesson. If you have any questions, make sure you ask.